Hey everybody, Thacia here with Legacy of Light in conjunction with One Love Wellness Center here in Menasha, Wisconsin, coming to you for one of my 365 days from my heart to yours. And we're going to do the fifth agreement again today, and the second one is don't take anything personally. And he starts out at the beginning telling this story of a person. So let's say it's you, and you're going into this theater, and you know everybody you know is there, but then you realize that there's all these separate theaters that everybody goes into, and so you go into a theater and you sit down next to somebody, and let's say it's your mom, and like she doesn't even know that you're there, and she's just watching this movie, and then you're like, oh, well, this is your life, and all of a sudden and you're in it, but it's not you, like the you that you perceive yourself as. You see how your mother perceives you, so then you proceed to go into everybody else's theaters, and they perceive you differently and than how you are and how you perceive yourself. So in the end, it's just kind of showing us that, like, we're all living these dreams, and we have perceptions, and we don't even realize how other people perceive us, and realize that when they perceive something about us has nothing to do with us. Someone said, what somebody else thinks of you is none of your business, because it's not who you are. It's just their perception of you, and their perception of how their story has gone, and where they're at, and how they perceive that. And so he goes on to say, now it's easy to understand why there is so much conflict between humans. The world is populated by billions of dreamers who aren't aware that people are living in their own world, dreaming their own dream, from the point of view of the main character, which is the only point of view. Everything is all about them. So when a secondary character says something they don't agree with, and they get angry, and they try to defend their position, they want the secondary character to be the way they want them to be. And if they're not, they feel hurt. They take everything personally. With this awareness, you can also understand the solution, and it's something so simple and logical. Don't take anything personally. Now, the meaning of the second agreement is profoundly clear. This agreement gives you immunity in the interaction you have with the secondary characters in your story. You don't have to concern yourself with another's point of view. Once you can see that nothing others say or do is about you, it doesn't matter who gossips about you, who blames you, who rejects you, who disagrees with your point of view. All the gossip doesn't affect you. You don't even bother to defend your point of view. You just let the dogs bark, and surely they will bark and bark and bark. So what? Whatever people say doesn't affect you, because you are immune to their opinions and their emotional poison. You are immune from the predators, the ones who use gossip to hurt other people, the ones who want to use other people to hurt themselves. Don't take anything personally is a beautiful tool of interaction with your own kind, human to human. And it's a big ticket to personal freedom, because you no longer have to rule your life according to another person's opinion. This really frees you. You can do whatever you want to do, knowing that whatever you do has nothing to do with anything but you. The only person who needs to be concerned about the story is you. This awareness changes everything. Remember, awareness of truth is the first step to self-mastery. And that is what you're doing right now. You're being reminded of truth. Now that you understand this truth, now that you are aware, how can you take anything personally anymore? Once you understand that all humans live in their own world, in their own movie, in their own dream, the second agreement is pure common sense. So don't take anything personally. Because as in the beginning, you know, all the movies, everybody, it's their perception. What I think of anybody in my play, in my dream, in my reality, is my perception. And it has nothing to do with them. So, and that works, you know, both ways, in anger and in love. Like, what I project onto somebody else has nothing to do with them. So, like he said, let the dogs bark. People will talk. Not everybody is aware. Not everybody's striving to be aware. And the only person that we ever need to be concerned with is ourselves. And in this concern for ourselves and our dream, it will manifest in our reality the things that we want to. And especially if we, you know, we let go of our attachments to these emotions, you know, from, well, they hurt me, you don't know what they said to me, you don't know what they did to me. They're really just doing that to themselves because they are in so much pain. And when you realize that you don't have to suffer, it's your choice. And you may say, well, you don't know. And I don't know. But I do know that it is our choice to suffer, to, you know, have our pity parties, to live in this situation, to live in attachment to the emotions of this situation. That is our choice of what type of dream we want to create. That much I do know. And so we can choose to not take anything personally. Yes, it's going to take some work. Sure. It doesn't just happen overnight. But it's a gradual, you know, a beautiful thing to self-mastery. If we are, you know, first impeccable with our words, this is going to, like, you know, start you out on that path to being to the place where you don't take things personally. And yes, it's, you know, you may have to remind yourself, you know, like I said in yesterday's video, I had it on my mirror for at least a year, just as like a daily reminder. And you know, it is a beautiful thing to realize and to become aware of this beautiful creation that you are making. And, you know, as the Toltecs believe in this dream that we're living. We're in this dream constantly, and if we realize that everybody else is in theirs, everybody else is creating their reality, their dream. And to just let them just be. Because nobody wants to be controlled by anybody. And it doesn't matter what they are dreaming. It's not for you to decide. And be like, well, they can dream this if it like coincides and it's all sunshine and rainbows, then that's fine. But seriously, like, allow people to be who they are, and realize that, yes, we're all having different dreams. And yes, sometimes things won't mesh with mine. But it doesn't mean they're wrong and I'm right, or I'm wrong and they're right. It just is. That is how their dream is manifesting. That is how their life, their divine expression is coming out. So, and like he says, it is freedom. There is freedom in not taking anything personally, because you can do whatever you want. And if somebody else has an issue with what you're doing, then that's their issue. And it doesn't matter. We all have free will and a choice to do whatever it is that we feel we want to do, and how we perceive this world and our dream and what we want to create. And when we can let go of these attachments of how we think things should be and ought to be, and just allow them to be, this puts you on the road to self-mastery and to being impeccable with your word and to not take anything personally. It's a beautiful thing when you can just let go. So give it a try. And, you know, as Don Miguel talks about in the 4 agreements, like, you may have to, you know, start over. It's like start over. It's like grace. Have grace for yourself and be like, okay, I was not impeccable with my words. Now I can be again. Just move on. Move on and live through it, not in it. Oh, wow, I totally took that personally. Then when you become aware, let it go. And be like, oh, okay, next time. And just continue until, you know, it becomes, you know, your dream. Where you are aware that, oh yeah, I am being impeccable with my word. And it just comes naturally. And really, you know, it does get easier and more natural to observe your thoughts and catch yourself before you are not impeccable with your words, before you take it personally. Because the more you practice, the more you become aware, and the more you can just let it go and let it, you know, roll off your shoulders, so to speak. And to become a master of your divine expression. So, I love you all. I think you're fantastic, magnificent. I adore you. To become that master and don't take anything personally.